Yeah, definitely snappier than the TV. Hello and welcome to another NihongoGamer video. Today, I've got a very interesting product. It's a portable monitor for the PS4, and I'll tell you why I went and bought this. I've been playing a lot of Street Fighter, as you know, on my PlayStation 4, but it's been on a TV. I've got a 4K TV, and I'm not convinced that it is the same speed as my laptop or my gaming monitor back home. I feel like I'm having to play the game differently, like basically I'm going to have to press all the buttons a little bit earlier than usual, and I didn't like the way that the timing fell. So, either I'm completely crazy and I've made it all up in my head, or maybe a gaming monitor actually will be a bit faster. Kind of officially licensed portable HD gaming monitor Pro. According to the back, it says it has an 8 millisecond response rate and a 5 millisecond gray to gray response rate. Does that make a big lot of difference? Don't actually know, because basically, even if it has a high response rate, there is still going to be a delay between the signal entering the computer and appearing on the screen, and we don't know what that input delay is going to be. So, there's only one way to find out. Let's go ahead and unbox it. There's actually one other thing that I also really wanted this for, and it's because playing on the TV means I have to share it with anyone else in the house. And when they come home and they want to watch TV, it's difficult to play Street Fighter because I usually play that on the TV. It needs an HDMI input, which this has two of. I think it has two HDMI inputs. Whereas on the Switch, whenever I'm playing on the Switch and someone comes home and they want to watch TV, you can just pull it out of the dock and continue playing. Yes, it's on a smaller screen, sometimes the resolution is different, but you can continue playing. But with PlayStation, I was unable to do that. So having my own portable monitor so that I can switch away from the TV, or just basically only play on this if the response rate is as good as they say, that's kind of why I've gone for this, because in a way, I wish that PlayStation could do what the Wii U or even the Switch could do. I mean, the Switch or even the Wii U could do. You'll see on the back here, there's a little image. It shows the person holding it. It's nice and portable, and the fact that it's got a kickstand built in, because obviously, if there's no stand, how do you expect us to stick it up? I'm just talking about Wacom, it's unrelated to this video. Anyway, I'm gonna rip these off. Now, it's a 15.6 inch monitor apparently, so it should be nice and large, but not too much larger than a laptop to carry. Instruction manual. You do get an HDMI cable, just pull that out of here. Remember to go and buy your own if you need one that's longer than this. This is probably, well, let's go ahead and open it. It's about this long as my ruler. This is all that's in the box. We also get the power adapter, 12 volt 1.5 amp adapter. Throw that over there. And let's pull this out of here. It comes in this nice kind of leatherette packaging. Quite a slick exterior. It has a slick exterior, and hopefully the interior as slick. Obviously, it's thicker than an iPad, but not much thicker than a good laptop. Oh, it opens the other way. Alright, so that is our Hori Portable HD Gaming Monitor Pro. This is actually quite a lot larger than I was expecting. 15.6 inches is larger than you expect. Now, it's got quite a matte screen. It's not a glossy screen, which is ideal because when you're gaming, you don't really want glare. Okay, on the side here, you've got the HDMI. You can switch between the two inputs, volume and enter, and a menu button, presumably for changing the settings on the on-screen menu. Now, this is interesting here. On the other side, you've actually got power, two HDMI ports, so you can plug in two separate devices, and you've also got two HDMI. You've got two headphone jacks as well. Really impressed that it's got two headphone jacks, because that way you don't have to be plugged into one person's earphone. You don't have to be like right next to them just because you're using the same headphone. Quite nice that it's got the PlayStation logo on the back as well. Now, in terms of stand, it has a couple of grooves here on the front. As you can see, that's where it will rest. It doesn't have a lot of different angles you can set it at. You can set it at this angle and also one that's a slightly steeper angle. Oh no, wait, there's three angles. Okay, pretty steep enough. Let's go ahead and plug it into the PlayStation and let's see if it's any faster than my TV. Alright, before plugging in the Hori monitor, what I've got Street Fighter running on my large 4K TV. It's a Toshiba TV, and just to double check, I've actually put it on the special mode. If you go into settings, you can actually put it on game mode, and supposedly this is gonna be as fast as it gets. So I don't think, if there's anything that this TV can do to really reduce the input lag and delay on the image, I think it's by putting it in game mode. Anyway, I've got my arcade stick here. This is one that I modified earlier with my own artwork in previous video. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna press a button and we're gonna see how fast the actual attack comes out. Now I'm going to do it in slow motion as well. Alright, so I'm going to put the monitor over here, just fold it out like so. Something I like about this power cable is the fact that it's not proprietary, so if you ever lose this, you could just go to any electrician and buy yourself a 12 volt 1.5 amp adapter, and I imagine that it would probably work just fine. Power goes on the right side, like so, and the HDMI cable also on the right side. And that's all you need. Okay. Well, check this out. I can actually rest my controller here in front of it. Wow, okay, I forgot, it's actually got speakers built in. Alright, same as before, we're gonna go into training mode. Oh, it already feels more responsive than the TV just from pressing the options button. Now, what you can see in the camera is it looks like there's a stronger backlight from the bottom, but that's probably because my camera is angling down. As I'm looking at the screen myself, I don't see anything like that. So we're going to see whether this is faster or slower just by pressing the button. So here we go, this is the light punch, 1, 2, 3. Alright, something interesting to know about this monitor is that it is not 1080, it is 720 or 768, which basically is somewhere in between 720 and 1080, so it's not full HD. It is HD though, and if you go into automatic resolution, you can go to video output information and you can see it is outputting at 1080, but that is not the exact best resolution for this screen because it'll look a little bit jaggedy. So if you go in here and you click it on 720, now if we go back into the game, should look, okay, looks pretty much the same to me. But this is really awesome to be able to have a screen nice and small right in front of the arcade stick. This way I can put it anywhere I want. Also, the fact that it's not attached to a monitor stand like a normal monitor, it's not going to be bulky and difficult to carry around, you know, you always have to lug it around. This one you can actually fold it up flat, it comes with a case that keeps the screen nice and protected, and as far as I can tell, it is definitely a bit faster as well. Yeah, it's definitely snappier than the TV. Alright, this is awesome fun. Now I just realized actually that I've got the whole Hori thing set actually hanging off the table, but because of the weight of the arcade stick, it is actually keeping it in place because this little plate here, so even if you've got a really small table, you can actually keep this thing balanced because this plate, as long as this plate is being supported or kept in place by something heavy, you can actually have it overhanging the table. Yes! Interesting. It definitely feels snappier than usual. Yes! Alright. Now I'm gonna say that, I mean, okay, I've turned down the picture brightness just so that it doesn't mess with the camera too much. But the picture quality I would describe as good to average, or average to good. I mean, this is not a super sharp monitor. First of all, the fact that it's not 1080 is a little disappointing at this size, and especially at the price as well. For £200, or roughly, I don't know, I think it's about $230, $200 to $230 in the US, but for £200, you would really expect a monitor like this to be full HD. Okay, yes, it has got a nice speedy response rate, so it does feel snappier for gaming, and of course, with a game like this, which is really time sensitive, I'm really glad that it's got a fast response rate, but you would expect it to look a little crisper, and also just, I don't know, there's just something about it. The quality is not incredibly high, but if that's not the point, if the point is to play with a monitor that is extremely fast and portable and convenient and it looks good, it's just not as good as maybe a more expensive dedicated HD, full HD gaming monitor. But if you just want to get a few matches in the toilet, a bit of melty blood, then this is definitely your tool. So there you have it, that is the Hori HD Gaming Monitor Pro. It's kind of pricey, but it has a good response rate, it's nice and snappy. I love it, but I have to say, if I'm going to speak objectively, It doesn't have incredibly good viewing angles. Look, as soon as I turn it away from the camera, you can see that the viewing angle is not incredibly wide, so if you may have to sit a little closer together if you're playing two-player on a screen like this. But the fact that it is really thin, it comes with this cover, which is nailed to the monitor so that you can bring it around and it is protected. You do not need to worry about damaging it in that way. Plus, this cover actually works as a stand. You really don't need to bring around any heavy like stands, monitor type stands, just to make this thing stand up. Nice and simple, it's got power and HDMI. That's all you really need. You just want to put your video signal from your PlayStation or your Switch or anything into something like this. Anything that can output, well, even as you've seen, it can output at HD on the console, but it will not be full HD on here. It'll be 720, which is still HD, but not quite full HD. So any games that are really designed for 1080 are not going to look exactly right on this. I love that it's got speakers built in because it would be annoying to always have to plug in headphones just because it's a monitor. It's designed to be, it's more like a portable TV, but with a gaming performance mode, and I love that I can play games on it. It's speedy. I'm really happy, except that I just think it's a little bit pricey for what it is. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this NihongoGamer video. Don't forget to comment, subscribe, share the links and all that good stuff, and I will keep you up to date with how I feel about this monitor in the future, because obviously it's only the first day that I've had it. See you next time.